No, I was just coming out of school, like doing NYSC. Like my parents weren't like supportive of the whole thing. Even I had to use my school fees to make my first piece, so it was really not a good, it was really not a good experience for me. Hello, I'm Jumoke Dada, and this is my young CEO story. Taeillo was the brand I started after like attending an interior design conference where it had like this Japanese and American designers like come around, and then they had to like tell us, oh, Africans are consumers, they don't produce anything from this part of the world. You know, for someone like me as a young person, I wasn't happy about that, and I felt like there was something I could do about it. And from there, it was more like I wanted to travel around Nigeria to see how we can harness local resources here to create beautiful things. I'm an architect, so it's easier for me to delve into furniture as a medium of expression. I want to tell people that, you know what, despite, you know, the infrastructure deficits and all of those things happening here, Africa is really not a jungle. There are really like interesting things that can come out from this part of the world. And basically that's why I started Taeillo. I know I did like a lot of research on how to start a business with zero capital and try to like figure it out from there. I was just coming out of school, like doing NYSC. Like my parents weren't like supportive of the whole thing. Like they really wanted me to get a job. So like telling them that I want to start a business wasn't an option at all. Like even I had to use my school fees to make my first piece. So it was really not a good, it was really not a good experience for me. I came out with my first piece of furniture then as a master's student. I know it failed the structural test, and I didn't like go back to try to make another one at that point. I wanted to just create pieces and exhibit them, and that was how I created like my first piece, just for showcase, not really to sell to a whole lot of people. Funny enough, like someone saw it and someone liked it, and she bought it. Luckily, she had a very good customer experience, and she was impressed, and she put it on her Instagram. And from there, a lot of people started like calling, and like sales started growing from there, like up to what Taeillo is right now. There are some things I really want to do as a designer sometimes, but you know, you can't find them in this part of the world. So most times you really have to make do with whatever you have. I feel like there are not like enough skilled guys to do the work. I remember like the early days when I started the brand, we apparently had to keep changing carpenters like every other time. It's kind of limiting, but at the same time, you still need to do what you have to do. So it's either when you're hiring, you hire someone who knows the job at once, because you can't really, there's no time to go through the hassle of trying to train someone to do that. So finding people who are already like qualified is kind of tough, you know. But at the beginning of COVID, it wasn't funny at all. Because even at some point, I thought like that was like going to like be the end of the business, right? You know, we thought about doing different things. We thought about diving into like a different line of business. But it still really boils down to the fact that we're able to meet people's needs at that point. Personally, I'm this kind of person that does not give up on anything. I don't think I've ever thought for once that, you know, people have to close shop and go home. But I know we've definitely had like bad times where everybody's just sad, I'm sad, and I don't feel good about what is going on. Sometimes you get to like put in your best, and maybe because of one or two issues that are like beyond your control, you know, you get to see a customer like call you out. At that point, you know, you feel so sad, and sometimes you try to make it right to some of these customers. You know, some may never give you another chance. You know, at that point, you feel like you failed as a person. You failed yourself, you failed the customers. Or like in times like that, you know, you just have to learn from those mistakes and, you know, continue from there. The best thing about being a CEO is dreaming about new things every day. Now I get to think, oh, Taeillo has to be in Kenya next year, Taeillo has to be in Rwanda next year, Taeillo will get listed. It's fun going through all the challenges. I don't know why, but I just enjoy the pain of creating new things, because at the end of the day, but you now see your idea come to reality, and then that joy from that alone is like something I really look forward to every time. Managing people is like the worst thing for me. If I had my way, I wouldn't do that. You get to work and you meet someone with a low energy, then you have to come down to that energy level, right? You get to meet someone on the team, the energy level is high. But it's just having to manage those gallops of emotions and still being sane. Taeillo is making money on its own. At the same time, it's backed by investors, right? To be honest, I would say where I am right now, I wouldn't say it's by chance, and I don't really believe in luck. But like I said, I didn't start out to start a business. I'm a shy person. I, by default, won't want to talk to anyone. So we had a customer who we delivered some pieces to, and he loved it. And luckily for us, he has a VC company. And from there, I was like, do you know what you are doing can be something way bigger than what you are seeing right now? And he showed me like other brands that he thinks like are doing so well outside Nigeria. And he's like, what do you think? And we can help you become bigger than these companies that you currently see. And from there, you know what? He was like, we'll invest in your business. And that was it, basically. And from there, we started like raising like a series of other funds and all of that. So it was at that point, then I know that, okay, Taeillo has to be a business. Just like every tech-enabled business, right? You need to raise funds at some point to expand and grow, and you really don't want to use like money from your operations to do that, right? So for us, it's really about the times when we've had to raise funds is majorly for expansion's sake, right? One of the things I've come to learn is that, you know, if you own a business, then you should get to a point whereby you are not ashamed anymore, or you are not scared anymore, or if someone rejects you, you don't feel bad anymore. You know, but it takes time, but it's something that I've come to deal with. And you know what, I'll talk about it, whether you like it or not, like, it's still the same, you know about it. And maybe sometime in future, you might come back to talk about it, but it is what it is. I feel here at Taeillo, one of the main things we take seriously is customers come first. So sometimes even it entails you stepping on the toes of your colleagues just to ensure that the customers are happy. Then you just have to do it. Then after that, you guys meet later on and just like laugh over it. And after all, like the issues get settled and, you know, we all move on. So like that's majorly the workflow here. First of all, I think a lot of people that love Taeillo because of the style and the fact that people can buy premium modern stuff at affordable price points. It's something that people really, really love. And coupled with the fact that even in our marketing, we get to let our customers be part of the process. So sometimes we try to launch a product and we're asking them, what kind of product are you expecting to see? From the feedback I've gotten from people is, people feel like Taeillo listens to us when we ask them for anything, or they are constantly listening to what the customer wants. And I think that's like one of our major driving principles here. Even the biggest and the best of brands have like customer lapses in between, but what they do is they try to make it right as much as possible. We don't stop till the customer is happy. Taeillo is primarily a social commerce furniture brand. So for instance, running ads entails reaching out to more people, you know. And one of the ways you can reach out to people is to leverage on technology as much as possible. I can be that great designer, but if nobody uses the piece, then there's no point. Like, it doesn't make any sense. And technology is like a tool you can leverage on to reach out to us, like millions of people. For me, one key thing is experience, right? How do people get to experience the pieces? Things like augmented reality definitely would help people experience that, you know, when you try to embed the furniture piece into your space, you get to see what it looks like, if it will fit or not, if you like it or not. You know, even in time of COVID, where people couldn't step out, things like that were super useful to a lot of consumers, right? So for us, tech is like one of the driving force here at Taeillo. I think for me, my own philosophy or ideas around business is different. Like, I'm not running Taeillo, so it becomes a family business, you know. At some point, I would leave, I would exit as like the CEO, yeah. And at that point, because for me, what I've seen, like most businesses in Nigeria, they don't outlive the founders. And it's something I really want to change with Taeillo. I want, even when I'm dead, Taeillo is still alive, at least. It moves from one generation to the other. So the goal for 6 to 8 years from now, right, is either get acquired by a much more bigger furniture company, or we get to list on the stock exchange. Like, that's like my biggest goal for Taeillo as a company.